Apples are in season. Let's make a fun recipe today that you might not think about adding apples to. Stay tuned. Hi, my name is Katrina. Welcome to the Organixx channel, where we create healthy recipes together in the kitchen. Today we're going to be making a chicken and apple quesadilla. For today's recipe, I've got a lot of shortcuts for you in case you just don't have a lot of time. I'm going to be showing you the long version, but then also give you those time-saving tips along the way. Begin in your bowl. You want to add 1 pound of free-range organic chicken thighs. Drizzle 1 tablespoon of heart-healthy olive oil all over your chicken thighs, and you want to coat them so that the spices will stick. Now you want to add your spices over top of your chicken thighs. I've got 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt or sea salt. Sprinkle it all over your chicken thighs, and then you want to mix it up really well so that the chicken gets coated with all of the spices. Now we're ready to cook up your chicken. In your skillet over medium-high heat, add in 2.5 tablespoons of olive oil. You want to heat up your olive oil for about 1 minute, and then we'll be adding in our seasoned chicken thighs. So those time-saving tips that I was talking about, the first one is to go to the store and get already pre-cooked chicken. You could use a rotisserie chicken, that would be great. And then what you can do is take your pre-cooked chicken, throw it in the skillet for just a minute with a little bit of olive oil and those same spices that we're using. Stir it up, heat it up for just a minute, and then you are good to go. Now let's add in our chicken thighs. You want to place them in a single layer into your skillet and cook them for about 3 minutes on each side until they become brown and cooked all the way through. Once your chicken is done cooking, set it aside to cool. And just to let you know, I cooked my chicken much longer than I originally stated. It just really depends on how thick of pieces of chicken you have and then how brown you like the outsides. So let's make some fresh salsa to go with our quesadillas today. And you are always more than welcome to go get your favorite store-bought salsa if you're short on time. In a bowl, let's add in 1 cup of chopped up Roma tomatoes, 1/2 cup of chopped up onion, 1 to 2 chopped up garlic cloves, just depending on how much garlic you like, 1/4 teaspoon of either pink Himalayan or sea salt, and then a little pinch of cayenne pepper for some spice. If you know me, I always like to add in that cayenne pepper to my recipes. 1/2 cup of freshly chopped up cilantro, which is so good at removing heavy metals from the body. And last, we have about 1 teaspoon of freshly squeezed lime juice. Okay, another tip to do if you wanted to save time is instead of chopping up all of these vegetables, you can just stick them into your food processor and pulse it up until it's the exact size that you like it. Give your salsa ingredients a good stir. Set your salsa aside so that all of the flavors can come together, and then go ahead and cut up your chicken into some bite-sized pieces. Now we're ready to mix up our filling. So in a bowl, I added my chopped up chicken. To that, I'm going to add 1 chopped up apple and 1 cup of chopped up spinach. Give this a good mix. Let's toss all those ingredients together. And then just to let you know, I also found some extra juices in my pan that I fried up the chicken in, and I added that to the bowl just to make sure I got all of the flavors mixed up in here and to make my chicken a little bit more moist. Now we're ready to assemble our quesadillas. You want to spread just a little bit of olive oil onto your baking sheet, just so that they don't stick. Now, of course, you could always cook your quesadillas in your frying pan, absolutely fine. But if you wanted to cook all of them at once, especially if you're making a lot for your family or friends, then sticking them in the oven is going to make it a lot easier, a lot faster. So they'll all be done at the same time. So taking your gluten-free tortilla, place it down, and I'm going to take a little bit of my shredded Parmesan cheese and just spread it over half of it. And then taking a couple scoops, I'm just using my ice cream scooper, but really, it really doesn't matter. It's about 3/4 of a cup, just depends on how big your tortillas are and how much of this stuffing you want inside. So once you have the filling in, spread it out and then fold your tortilla over. And now I'm just going to repeat that for the rest of my tortillas. When you're assembling your quesadillas, if they're not staying closed, then just take a toothpick and stick it right in so that it'll hold it closed. And when you're ready, you want to stick this in a preheated 400-degree oven for about 15 minutes, being sure to flip it halfway through. Okay, let's give these quesadillas a try. I topped them with a little bit of the salsa that I made. You could also add some avocado, just depending on who is eating. That is so good. So there's a couple things that I would do. It just depends on who is eating this, of course. So I'm just talking about from my taste, not necessarily my children's. I would definitely add in some more smoked paprika, just to up the spices a little bit. And I would also add in some avocado on top because I absolutely love avocado. This is really fun. You can get really creative with this recipe, really make it work for you. I hope you give it a try and then let me know how it goes for you. Thanks so much for joining me today. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss next week's recipe. Have fun in the kitchen and I'll see you next week.